Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research online to find games which have the highest RTP or return to player percentage. So now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take.
Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this one?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
They're so close that we're barely going to be getting any value on the plus side of things. I think there's a little bit of value on the Blue Jays today, but it's an awesome division. Like, I don't want to see teams running away and be up by 12 games in first place. We want to see teams constantly battling for first place.
They hit a team total. I love that. So as many times as we get bad beats, you do get the same amount of good beats, typically in your direction, if you wait long enough.
Pro Baseball today, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. It's the players, the hustlers, the people, the bustler, but everybody else in between. Let's do this thing. The Wicked Wednesday has begun, and the craziness continues as well. Upset alert. Once again, the New York Knicks rally back from 20-plus down to nail a straight-out win on the road, and the Knicks now have a 2-0 series lead over the defending champion Boston Celtics. We have an interesting comparison as well. And I told you guys coming into this that if you look at the Knicks and you look at the Leafs, there's a ton of similarities. There's a lot of like cousins and brothers and stuff like that, mirror images of each other in different sports, right? The Buffalo Bills, the Detroit Lions, right? Like, we're cousins. You know what I'm saying? We pull for each other. We understand each other's pain. Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Knicks, they're not like the Bills and Lions. They're like the spoiled rich kids that still can't buy friends, and win. But here they are right now, both up 2-0 against the defending champions. Knicks haven't won since 73. Leafs haven't won since 67. Both are owned by groups that their fans don't like. Both charge a ton of money despite the fact that they never win. Both like to live in the past. I could go on as far as their similarities are concerned. And the similarities right now is they're both getting it done. All right, let's start off with the New York Knicks. Everybody expected the Boston Celtics to bounce back tonight after the debacle, and we've seen this a lot in the past with the Boston Celtics over the years. They lack that full killer instinct that they're going to sweep teams, that they're going to murder teams. The Celtics have been vulnerable at blowing big leads in regular season games over the years. As well, this collective unit. And it's difficult. Once you win, you lose the hunger. You're not the same team. The Celtics aren't the same team this year as they were last year. And the Knicks are finding a way right now playing defense and shutting the Boston Celtics down. The Boston Celtics aren't hitting their three-point shots. And God knows the Boston Celtics like to take a lot of them. So tonight, the Boston Celtics attempted 40. By their standards, that's not a lot. Right? But you know what their problem was? They only hit 10 of them. All right? They're not hitting these shots. To put in perspective, the Knicks took 31 three-point shots and hit 9 of them. right? A lot more efficient, less, you know what I mean? Less is more. And even that's quite a lot, you know, for the New York Knicks. But 91-90, game stays way under the number. And the Knicks win the game outright. And teams that win the first 2 games on the road in the NBA in a 7-game series go on to win the series like 85.7% of the time. 80, let's call it 86, whatever, if you want to round it up. So the Knicks are in a good position right now, similar to the Toronto Maple Leafs, but the Knicks are in an even better spot because the Knicks are going back to MSG. Meanwhile, the Leafs are going to Florida, but with that being stated, it's not like Florida is the most, you know, you're playing the team. You're not playing the crowd there. And they can throw their little plastic rats, and like half the people in that arena don't know what an offside is. So, you know, whatever. It is what it is. There'll be a lot of Leaf fans there as well. Massive performance for the Toronto Maple Leafs tonight. We'll get into that. But the Dallas Stars and Winnipeg Jets series, they're the last series to get started here. So there was a lot of talk about who's going to be in the lineup for the Winnipeg Jets. They played without Josh Morrissey. They played without Scheifele in the pivotal Game 7. And Scheifele is back. Morrissey is not. They were both game-time decisions coming into tonight. So Scheifele is playing. Morrissey is not. We have a scoreless game. We played 8 minutes. And I know these overs, man. You know, we'll get the number here. I'm going to try to find it. We'll nail down the exact number of what it is as far as the over-unders in the NHL playoffs. But it's been a blitzkrieg of overs. Let's just call it off what it is. It's been a blitzkrieg of overs. You're betting unders, you're getting killed. All right? Like, you owe a lot of money or you lost a lot of money. If you're betting on the unders in these NHL playoff games. But with that being stated, I get the feeling tonight, Dallas and Winnipeg, that we have a normal playoff game. Like, you know, or at least a modern playoff game. I can't believe I'm saying this, but these playoffs have been awesome. But I'm telling you, these playoffs, they have like a mid-'80s feel to them. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, a team scores and the other team scores a couple of seconds later. It's like, yeah, you better win 4 or 5 goals to win these games. Like, it's been different, these playoffs, than usual. Normally, you'll have a high-scoring game in a playoff series in the NHL, but it'll settle down, and it'll turn into playoff hockey. Not boring because it's intense, but let's not make any mistakes. It seems like the modern NHL is, now whatever, we're fast, don't worry about it, we're going to score, let's attack. I've also, you notice too, and I've been watching hockey a long time, I've never seen as many goals and shot attempts basically from the face-off circles. Like, that's the new thing in the NHL right now. Like, these guys' shots are so fast and they're so accurate that they have a better chance of scoring. It's crazy to me because, you know, you figure, nah, man, the goalie's going to stop it from like 25, 30 feet out. You're too far to just shoot a wrist shot or a snapshot from here. And, man, like, you're seeing most of the goals are coming down from the sides. Guys coming in, streaming down the sides, and or the quick one-timers from the sides. Most of the goals in the playoffs so far this year. Dallas have outshot Winnipeg 9-2 so far in this hockey game. Hellebuck, welcome to Hell's Kitchen, as it's known in Winnipeg. Hellebuck's got his groove back, I'm telling you right now. And I also tell you right now, the Winnipeg Jets, they're going to win this series. They're going to beat the Dallas Stars, and Hellebuck is going to play well on the road. I think Hellebuck is back. Hellebuck is a very temperamental person. He's the type of dude that goes to see sports psychiatrists, and he overthinks things, I think. But so when he gets rattled, right? But when he's locked in, he's next level good. And he's locked in right now. And it's a good thing that he is, because the Dallas Stars are all over these guys. So we got a scoreless game. We played about 9.5 minutes. I pulled the under trigger in this game, -145. It's currently -185 right now. The Winnipeg Jets are -110. NBA basketball, dramatic win for the Knicks. Oklahoma City aren't playing around tonight. They blew a lead as well the other night. Oklahoma City are murdering Denver right now, 45-21. That's after the first quarter of play. We took Denver again. We hit them in game 1, so we took them again. And we took the over of this game. So as it is now, it's like, all right, let's just get a ton of points. Let's get the split and get the hell out of here. And hopefully we can hit the Winnipeg Jets and we can hit the under in this hockey game. Big news in the National Football League. today. The Pittsburgh Steelers trade George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys, essentially for a third-round pick. They're getting a third-round pick. They swap, one of those swap fifth picks, and I don't know, there might be another sixth-round pick or something thrown in here, but it's generally, a third-round pick that they're coming away with. I think they exchanged fifth and sixth. We'll get you the exact details, but we're caught up in these playoff games. But nevertheless, listen, I think this is a great – people don't like, once people like to stay with something that's easy. And it's always easy to criticize the Dallas Cowboys for this or criticize Dallas Cowboys for that. But the Dallas Cowboys, this is a great acquisition for the Dallas Cowboys. And, yeah, the dude's got an attitude problem. But you know what? A lot of football players have attitude problems. And it seems to me that Mike Tomlin's having a hard time, not letting his players get attitude problems, right? And it's a perfect spot right now for Pickens. And the Dallas Cowboys are a good football team when Dak Prescott is their quarterback. Let's roll.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity. I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results.
What? How do you do this once?
Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency. The pits, the players, the hustlers, the people, the busters, but everybody else in between. I tell you, what a week it's been. Playoffs in both the NBA and the NHL. Living up to the hype. Big-time drama going on simultaneously often. Not so much right now because there's not a ton of drama in Oklahoma City because the Thunder are rolling the Nuggets early, but it's still early, and we've seen comebacks like we saw the Knicks. The Knicks are now the only team in the last 25 seasons to trail by 20-plus points in back-to-back games, both on the road, and come back to win both. in the regular season and or playoffs. First time in 25 years a team has been down 20 points in back-to-back games and won the game outright. Tonight, it should be noted, they were down by 20 with about 2.5 minutes left in the third quarter of play. And we could New York Knicks, and they deserve it, but the Boston Celtics are in full meltdown mode right now. And they're basically 25 for 100 shooting the three in the series. They've taken 100 threes and hit 25 of them. That's a problem. That's like taking 12 shots to get the ball into the hole in golf. Brady Cannon, Las Vegas golfer, steps up and in. Brady, good to see you. Cam is in recovery mode right now, but we're ready to rock and roll. I look forward to your take and hearing about the history of this Philadelphia Cricket Club because you're kind of a unique. I'm like, cricket. I don't know what's going on. They turn a cricket pitch into like, what's this about? But we'll get to
what's
that.
What's a Wissahickon?
Yeah, I got a lot of questions. Yeah, I got a lot of questions for you. And I seen that 15th hole's got a lot of bunkers too, bro. Right, so it's an interesting course. A lot of bunkers. I want to go over some of these holes and very unique. But these playoffs have been pretty lit so far, huh? Curry goes down last night. Golden State wins.
Yeah.
I just said the Knicks are the first team in 25 years in NBA history to come back down by 20 in back-to-back games, playoffs or regular season. NHL is just, crazy drama every night right now. Great week of sports.
Well, you think about what we've seen in the last, what has it been, 6 days or so? You go back to Saturday of last weekend, and you had the Colorado Avalanche up by 2 goals with 12 minutes to go in regulation. They lose 4-2. The very next night, the Winnipeg Jets and St. Louis Blues say, hold my beer, we got one better for you. Just absolutely. First of all, they get a goal to tie it up with a minute left, and then it's waved off, and then they come back with 1.6 seconds and tie it up and then win it in double overtime. Then you have the Pacers, okay, they won game 1. All right, fine. Then they come back and win game 2 after being down. They were getting crushed. Then the Knicks pull it up. I'm just waiting until Denver gets down by 30, and then I'm going to bet them on the money line, Gabe, because they're going to come back and win too, right?
Yeah, it's almost like you almost have to do it right now in these NHL games. Dude, last night, and it's not quite as dramatic. Look at last night, Brady. The Vegas Golden Knights in your backyard had a 2-0 lead on the Edmonton Oilers. We were live on the air, and I said the Oilers guys are not dead in this game. I said I love the plus 2.5 goals, and they can come back and win this game still at like plus 350, plus 450, and they did.
No, it really bummed me out. I was fired up. Vegas gets off to the nice start, and then you're right. It's been both on the ice and on the hardwood. It seems that no team is dead, no matter what the deficit is. The Dallas Stars, we talked about that last Saturday. What was that? 3 unanswered goals for them, 4 unanswered goals for the Edmonton Oilers last night. I think the team that is in trouble and is probably not going to pull off 2 straight underdog wins are the Golden State Warriors. Kind of a little bit of the fallen hero theory. Steph is around, goes out after about 12 or 13 minutes, and the rest of the team you knew was going to step up their game and just rally the troops. Masterful job coaching by Steve Kerr, I thought. But you could just see the energy in that building, out of Draymond and out of Jimmy Butler. They knew that their guy was down and he wasn't coming back, and they were going to win this one for the Gipper, if you will. Now, reality's going to set in game 2, and the fact is they don't have Steph Curry, and I think they could be in real trouble here. I do have a future ticket on the Warriors to win the Western Conference, and I think I'm going to be hedging because I don't know if Steph's going to come back at all, Gabe. They're saying a minimum 7 to 10 days. Can they even get it to a game 7 where he might be able to return? I'm not so sure.
Brady Cannon in the house with us. I'm Gabriel Morency, SportsGrid Radio and Television Network. No, you're right. You get the initial sort of shock. And the T-Wolves are a good team, but they'll do this. They have these games. We saw it in the first round where they don't show up, and then they can tighten things up in their next game. T-Wolves are a dangerous team. We saw it against the Lakers. Brady, I wanted to get your opinion on George Pickens. So George Pickens gets traded to the Dallas Cowboys. They're getting a third-round pick, and the Cowboys will also send a 2027 fifth-round pick to the Steelers and get back a 2027 sixth-round pick. So like I said off the top of the show here, basically they got him for a third-round pick. There's been a lot of talk about the Cowboys needing to add a second receiver to add with CeeDee Lamb, and say what you will about Pickens and his attitude. The kid can play, bro. And you didn't have the most healthy quarterback situation going on in Pittsburgh, and he still had 900-plus yards. He still scores touchdowns. He still made big plays in the clutch for them. I think it's a slam dunk for the Dallas Cowboys.
No, I like it too. I mean, we know CeeDee Lamb is one of the best wide receivers in football, and Pickens kind of is too, right? I mean, they're really both number ones. So Dallas and Dak Prescott certainly have a couple of great wide receivers. I don't know what they're going to necessarily do at running back. You know, Rico Dowdle, I think he was a free agent. I don't think he's even there anymore. And plus he's Rico Dowdle. You know, this wasn't, I mean, the days of Ezekiel Elliott when he was in his prime are long gone. I think they need a little bit more help there. They've had some, you know, guys retire. That amazing offensive line that seemed to last for decades is not what it used to be. Now they've drafted a couple of players here and there, but I still think they need a piece or two on offense to give Dak a little bit more protection. You know, a guy that can chip block on the blitz in the backfield there. But no, I like the move because they've been missing a wide receiver for a couple seasons now.
More of Brady Cannon on the other side. The Jets are pressing. Let's roll.
Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. The Wicked Wednesday. We're throwing it down. Cam Stewart will be back probably early next week. Maybe on Friday, but probably early next week. We got Brady Cannon in the house. Paul Bovey's going to step up, and then Spread Astaire has got a pretty good handle on Twitter. You like that, Brady?
I like that.
Fred Astaire?
I did.
Spread
that
Astaire.
was great. That's very, very good. Dancing around a few point spreads he is there.
Yeah. Give him credit for that. Spread a stare. You know what I mean? I don't think younger people get it, but it's a good one. So just quickly, we'll get into the golf, Brady. But as far as the Cowboys are concerned, they're in a tough division. You know, you got the Philadelphia Eagles, the Washington Commanders are an elite football team right now. The New York Giants greatly improved themselves, I think, in the draft, but they're still a year or two away. You know, but you look at the Cowboys. And the fact is, when Dak Prescott plays, Brady, yes, they lose in the playoffs, but they also win 12 games in a regular season every year.
Right.
Right? Last year was kind of a wash. Everybody was hurt. It is what it is. They had 3 years in a row of 12 wins, and the year before that, he was hurt, and they won 6 games that year. So there's a big-time pattern here. He is healthy right now. They are a talented team, and their win total is 7.5, albeit minus 130, but I'll go it on a ledge right now. An early pick, Brady. I'll give me the Cowboys over 7.5 wins.
Yeah, you told me that before we came on the show here, and I expected it would have been 8.5. If you told me to just guess their win total, I would have said 8.5. So 7.5, yes, absolutely, I'd be on the over there. I really think that whole division got better. I mean, once again, Philadelphia was good with offseason moves. You know, they always seem to make good draft picks, good free agent pickups, whatever way they go about it. They seem to do very well in the offseason marketplace. Washington picks up Deebo Samuel. The Giants, you mentioned it. I thought they had a great draft. They were probably the one team that really jumped off the page for me. That defensive line on paper right now anyway is maybe the very best in football. One of the best anyway, for sure. I really hope Daboll gets a longer runway there because I think he's a pretty good coach. He hasn't had a whole lot to work with there for a couple years. Of course, he took him to the playoffs. What was it, the first year he was there? He's starting to put some pieces together, and I hope they have some patience with him because I think the Giants are getting closer every year. And then you talk about the Cowboys. I mean, I think they're kind of sneaky. You know, I think they certainly look like a good shot to finish in second right now. The Philadelphia Eagles, of course, are the favorite, but the Giants are not going to win the division. I'm not going to go there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Washington regressed a little bit. Sophomore year for, Jaden Daniels. Obviously, expectations are through the roof at this point. We saw the same thing kind of happen with the Houston Texans after they went from worst to first. They fell off a little bit. Washington's not going to surprise anybody this year. So I wouldn't be surprised if they fell off a little bit. The Giants improve, the Cowboys improve, and are the Eagles going to go to the Super Bowl again? I doubt it. But that division, to your point, I think everybody did a very good job in the draft, the offseason, what have you, and it'll be a competitive race in the NFC East.
So, Brady, let's get into this week's PGA event. Although I will say, I know you're super excited for the PGA Championship. It's around the corner right now. It's great to have a major back, and I know you've already gotten a head start. We'll hit this week's tournament on the other side. We got about a minute and a half or 2 minutes here. What should people be looking for, or maybe advanced looks, bets right now for the PGA Championship? Do you want to get a head start on this?
Total driving. I wrote an article there at upatgolf.com. You can find it on my Twitter handle at Las Vegas Golfer. I posted it a couple times. Early bets for the PGA Championship, and I've been betting these guys since January. I've got 4 plays in pocket, but I think the club, Quail Hollow Club, where they typically play the Wells Fargo every year, that course, and also Torrey Pines, where they play the Farmers Insurance Open in La Jolla, California. Those 2 courses for me, more than any other golf course that we regularly see on the PGA Tour, emphasize total driving, which is a combination of length and accuracy. And one of the best total drivers in the game, Ludwig Aubert, hits it long and straight. No surprise, he won at Torrey Pines this year, and I immediately bet him to win the PGA because, again, I think that's a skill set that takes you a long way at Quail Hollow. Rory McIlroy, one of the best drivers of the golf ball, in the history of the game, has won at Quail Hollow 4 times. So, go to PGAtour.com, look at who ranks well there in total driving, and, pick out some of those names. That's where I would start with my handicap.
Speaking of Rory is in action this weekend in Philadelphia. We'll hit it on the other side.
don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they played. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, so I am Gabriel Morency. We're talking PGA right now with the great Brady Cannon, and he mentioned Quail Hollow. So they were supposed to play at Quail Hollow, but the PGA Championship is at Quail Hollow. So Philadelphia steps up and in, and the Philadelphia Cricket Club Wisa Hicken course, as Brady alluded to earlier. But Brady, from what I'm reading here and what I see, beautiful golf course, beautiful facility, property, etc., but also a lot of history. Like, major tournaments have been played here. Championships have been won here before, especially in the early golden era of golf. But it is a respected and looks like a pretty difficult golf course.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see it, Gabe. And the only bummer is they've gotten some rain in the area, and it's supposed to rain again on Friday. I guess a 75% chance of rain on Friday. So I think you're going to get a relatively soft golf course. And no matter how good it is, if you've got a soft track, these guys can really throw darts and tear it apart. So I don't know if we're really going to be able to see this beauty shine the way you'd like it to, with a little bit of breeze and firm and fast conditions. But it is a classic. A.W. Tillinghast, who one of the legendary golf designers, right there with Alistair McKenzie and Donald Ross. And Tillinghast did Baltusrol, where they've played a number of major championships, Winged Foot, where we saw the U.S. Open in 2020, and Bethpage Black in New York, where they're going to have the Ryder Cup this fall. So, I mean, this guy's an incredibly accomplished designer. And like you say, the golden era, back in the day when these golf courses, were tight and narrow and tree-lined. And it's great to see the PGA Tour go back to some of these. You're right. Normally, this would be a Quail Hollow week on the PGA Tour, but Quail Hollow is going to host the PGA Championship, so we've got to move it somewhere. And I'm really excited to see it. The winning score proposition bet, and I think this was certainly weather influenced. I was reading, people were expecting maybe 15, 16 under par. But with the weather in the area, the number opened up at 19.5 under par, and it's been bet down to 20.5 under par. So they are expecting some low scores here. It's a shorter course, but that yardage is really kind of influenced by the fact that there's only 2 par 5s, and there's a couple of par threes that are not much over 100 yards and heavily guarded by bunkers. So it's going to be fun to see guys try and, make a little chip shot like that. The finishing stretch of holes is really cool. You've got this 14th hole that's like a 120-yard par 3, then a very short par 5, and then a monster par 3 that's like close to 220 yards, and then 2 monster par 4s to finish, 500-yard par 4s on 17 and 18. So, yeah, it's going to be fun. I think no matter what, it'll be a great tune-up for next week's major championship.
And you were telling me about the U.S. Open. There's going to be a par 3 that's 280. I'm seeing here, for the record, that the 8th hole, par 3, is set at 240 this week, just for the record. So I could be wrong, but I'm looking at golf.com here. They got the tee shot, number 8, par 3, 240 yards. Okay, Brady. So as I mentioned, Rory's going to – it seems to me that all the big boys and heavy hitters are here except for Scheffler this week. We got Rory, we got Morikawa, we got JT, we got Xander, we got Ludwig, we got Cantlay, etc. Rory's the favorite at 5-1. Then there's a big drop-off. 15-1 for Colin, JT 17-1, Xander 17, Ludwig 17, Cantlay 19, Fleetwood 27, Spieth 27, Victor Hovland 27. So you got some good golfers here, Brady, and some pretty big numbers. What are you looking at?
Yeah, Scotty's the only one really that's not here. And I guess traditionally he's always kind of taken this week off. I didn't know that, but I read that earlier today that, you're allowed to take one signature event off. And so he's chosen to take this one off. But yeah, love the field. Can't wait to see the track. I went to Patrick Cantlay for my first choice. And because we've never seen this golf course before, Gabe, some guesswork for sure this week. And I kind of went to guys that have had success on classic golf courses in the northeast part of the country on bent grass greens. And Patrick Cantlay checks a lot of those boxes. He's won at the Memorial at Jack's Place in Ohio. He's won at Caves Valley in Maryland. He was third at the 2019 PGA Championship at Bethpage Black. So took him at 21-1. Hideki Matsuyama, this guy shows up on every single leaderboard. I took him at 33-1. 16th at Bethpage in 2019, 17th at Winged Foot in 2020, 15th at the Northern Trust at Ridgewood, 4th at Baltusrol. Those are all Tillinghast designs like we have here. 4th at the Country Club in 2022 at the U.S. Open at Brookline, 10th at Marion in 2013 when Justin Rose won the U.S. Open. Marion's only about 10, 12 miles away from the Cricket Club here in Philadelphia, another classic golf course. And another one, Aronimink, a Donald Ross design, Matsuyama was 15th there in 2018. So this guy has been, like top 15 on every course that I think kind of matches up to what we have this week. So I took a shot with him. Keegan Bradley, the guy lives and breathes the Northeast. He's also the Ryder Cup captain where they will play at Bethpage, a Tillinghast course. I think he's got that Northeast stuff in his veins. He's won at Aronimink before. He was 7th at the Country Club in 2022. Justin Rose, I mentioned he won at Marion, his lone major championship, the U.S. Open at Marion in 2013, another shorter, classic, tight design like we have here this week. And we know he's playing well, just took Rory to a playoff at the Masters last month. And then finally, my long bomb at 93-1, another guy that has shown up on all these correlated courses is Will Zalatoris. I think he's got another great shot this week.
Great numbers. Like I said, great golfers, great numbers. Let me ask you your opinion on a player that was part of a win, and you get credit for a PGA win in the team event, but Andrew Novak's been playing great golf, Brady, coming in at 60-1. What do you think? How do you break him down on this course? Do you like him or not like him?
Yeah, the entire golf crew here at SportsGrid was on Novak when he got that win a couple of weeks ago in New Orleans. We were thrilled about that one. I'm with you. I've been riding him a couple times, and it finally came through. He's an excellent player, great ball striker, has a great short game. Now the difference is here, he's playing in a signature event, right? So, I mean, you're playing against the best of the best.
This is tough competition. Yeah.
Right, exactly. So it's a step up in class. And is he still feeling himself a little bit off of that win, that very first PGA Tour win? I wouldn't be so quick to jump on him just yet. I'd let that settle down a little bit, and maybe we get into July and like a John Deere Classic, and he's going to go bust that door down again or something like that.
Who's the most bet, and what's the biggest liability to the odds makers that you talk to?
Yeah, let's take a look at that here. I know Rory's in there. Yeah, highest ticket count percentage at BetMGM. Rory number 1, Ludwig Oberg number 2, Jordan Spieth number 3. Those are the highest ticket counts. Same 3 guys for highest handle. And then biggest liabilities, this one's a little bit different. Ludwig Oberg, the biggest liability at BetMGM. Jordan Spieth, number 2. And then number 3, one of my guys, Justin Rose. And that's probably because they've got a few bucks on him at a big price. You know, Rose is anywhere from 65 to 75 to 1. So that's why he's probably a big liability there at BetMGM.
I'm surprised, Brady. We got about a minute here. I'm surprised. Let me ask you about Xander, that Xander didn't make the cut. I'm usually pretty good at predicting who the public is going to be on. I like Xander this week. I think he's dangerous at 17 to 1. What do you think?
I know some really sharp people that like Xander, and I tell you another guy that's at one of those shorter prices that I think could really show up this week is Justin Thomas. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Justin Thomas and Xander Schauffele be right there this weekend in Philadelphia.
Las Vegas golfer Brady Cannon. Catch him right here on the grid. Awesome stuff as always, Brady. Good luck with the tournament.
Have fun, my man. Thank you.
We go for Brady Cannon to Paul Bovey. Let's roll.
Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Let's do this thing. Always great with Brady Cannon. The Wicked Wednesday is always a strong show. So we jumped on the under, even though all these hockey games have been going over. I said, you know what? it feels like it's going to be like a real playoff game for once. So we took the under 5.5 and the Stars and the Jets. Scoreless after the first period of play right now. In-game total sits at 4.5. Jets are minus 120. Stars are minus 110. NBA basketball right now. We took the over in the nightcap with Denver and Oklahoma City. And Oklahoma City are doing their part. I'll tell you what. They're not playing around right now. They're up by 30. It's 85-55 late in the second quarter right now. So we have racked up 140 points, yet there could be some garbage time after, although, the Thunder will probably get up by 50, actually, before they pull anybody. But in-game total is 252.5. I'm on the over. That's the good news. Bad news is I'm on the Nuggets. So hopefully I can get the split here and move on. The New York Knicks upset the Boston Celtics. First team, Paul Bovey steps up and in. Paul, the Knicks tonight were the first team. What's going on here? I see we're back to golf.
What's that?
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah. Is it me?
Here's a tip. Some machines and online games have higher average payouts than others. Want to try to maximize your odds? Well, do some research on.
I was getting a little unruly at the end of regulation, so I sat in my car for the entire overtime. When I finally checked the score, there were 3 seconds left, 108, 105. So my timing was pretty good, and I kept hitting the old refresh. It finally went to final. And I walked back into the win, calm as could be. And lo and behold, I didn't expect us to get it tonight, but we take a 2-0 lead back to New York. And of course, there's still those Celtic fans and supporters in denial because Boston has been installed a 5-point favorite for Game 3. And I think that's a little bit hefty considering we are going to be playing in the Mecca, Madison Square Garden. I don't believe the Celtics are 8 points better on a neutral court.
Man, that's going to be a wild setting with the New York Knicks coming back home 2-0. So we apologize for the technical difficulties there. As I was going to say, the Knicks, Paul, first team in 25 years in the NBA to come back from 20 points down in consecutive games and win the game outright. That's pretty special.
I think it's very special, and I think it's special that they held Jason Tatum to only 23 points over his last 7 quarters of basketball. He started out hot, 13 points, first quarter, game 1, and they have just snuffed him out. And I was under on Anunoby in the first game, figuring he would expend his energy playing defense against Jason Tatum, and he did, but he also lit it up for 29 points. I came back, played him again under. They bumped it up to 16.5. And hey, if I liked it at 15.5, gotta like it at 16.5. And while he only scored 5 points, he really did the job on Jason Tatum tonight. And late in the game, Tatum had an easy dunk, but he also had one from the baseline. Anunoby had a hand in his face, really difficult shot, and it failed to drop. And the Knicks go on and win that game in exhilarating fashion. I got to give it to the New York Knicks. And, you could say what you want about this team, but if somebody doesn't show up offensively, it's like next man up. They just have a real rotation right now, and they're playing great basketball.
It's amazing to me, Paul. You've been watching basketball a long time, so you've seen it all. It's an epidemic right now of teams being unable to get the last shot off. Right? Teams have 19 seconds, 9 seconds, 5 seconds. Shot inbound violations, 5-second violations. National championship game, Houston Cougars couldn't get a shot off. Yeah. Right? They had 13 seconds, and it ends up in chaos. Couldn't get a shot off. Game 1, Boston Celtics couldn't get the shot off. Bridges just ripped the ball out of Brown's hands. Tonight, Jason Tatum had a lot of time, didn't get the shot off. Sort of got the shot off, but it was altered block by Bridges and OG again. But you just sort of assume, they'll get the shot of Brunson. This happened a lot in the playoffs where players, they don't get a shot off. They get, They turn it over, whatever. they have an opportunity to win the game and they don't. But you don't expect to see it from a team like the Boston Celtics, but they get rattled, Paul, in close games. We've seen this, right? They're so used to blowing teams out. They're not used to playing. They don't like playing in close games. They're not the same team as they were last year. And you've been very adamant, Paul, about how you did not believe that the Boston Celtics were going to make it back to the NBA Finals this year.
I have been adamant in stating that last year they did not have a free roll to the finals. They caught Cleveland without Jared Allen, Donovan Mitchell for a couple games. The Cavs did beat them in one. And then Indiana, all of those games were close. They could have flipped on a play or two. Boston came out on top. But you could see it. The Boston Celtics can be had. And I have always said that the way to beat the Celtics is this. Just stay close to their three-point conversions. In the first game, the Knicks outdid them by 2. I believe it was 17-15. In the
tonight,
game tonight,
10-9. And 9-10, whatever. The Knicks hit 9 and Celtics hit 10. But the Knicks took 9 less of them.
Right. So you stay close in the three-point conversions. In the first game of the year, by the way, when the Celtics blew them out by 23 points, they outscored them from beyond the arc by 54 points. They went 29 of 61. And actually, it was 29 of 48, and they missed the last 13 trying to break a record set by the Milwaukee Bucks. So, of course, the Celtics bring you variance one way or the other. Sometimes they're going to light it up and fill it up and kill you, and sometimes they're going to kill themselves.
Well, we're going to find out what they have as far as their mental toughness is concerned, being down 2-0 right now. More with Paul Bovey on the other side. Let's roll.
Something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers. It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
We got our first goal in a hockey game. The Winnipeg Jets have taken the 1-0 lead on the Dallas Stars early in the second period of play. critical in these playoff games, especially in tie games, that you score early and late in periods, right? And it changes the dynamic of the game. So the Jets break through. Hellebuck has been fire so far. He's been awesome. Orange has been strong too. Their shots on goal have been even, but the Jets have kind of looked like the better team. And we got a 1-0 lead right now for the Winnipeg Jets. Got Paul Bovey in the house with us. And somehow during the break, the name Dave Kingman came up. And I saw Dave Kingman hit the Niederreiter with the goal for the Winnipeg Jets, third of the playoffs, 3:30 mark of the first period. Assist to Appleton and Fleury. So for you prop players out there. So yeah, Dave Kingman, you remember, Dave, of course, you were talking about, you were asked about Dave Kingman and the Mets. And you said, man, he struck out a lot. He was like the modern baseball player of the old days, but we thought he sucked, Paul, at the time. Remember the guy would hit like 230, 240, and he'd hit a bunch, he'd hit a few home runs and strike out like 3 times, 4 times a game all the time. Nowadays, you get paid like $40 million a year to do that. Like they don't mind if you strike out.
I remember Dave Kingman having a year where he hit 50 home runs and like 206. I'd like you to look that up. It was below 210 and a shade over 200. Imagine hitting 50 home runs and batting sub 200. Please look this up because I can recall. And I watched this guy.
We'll get his numbers. But I swear I saw him hit. He's the only player to do it. Olympic Stadium in Montreal, didn't have a roof, had a roof, didn't have a roof, blah, blah, whatever over the years. But they had a roof at Olympic Stadium, and he hit like a pop fly so high, Paul, it hit the roof. No one had ever done that before. They were like, dear God, no one ever imagined like you could hit it that high. He just, boom, it went straight up in the air and hit the roof. It got all crazy, and they stopped it. Whoa, whoa. Everyone was like, wow. And they said after, you're the only one ever to hit the roof before. So I remember him growing up as a kid, striking out a lot, but he could smoke the baseball. He could.
Yeah, he could.
He could. So Paul Bovey in the house with us. So, Paul, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the New York Knicks, I brought this up. Their comparisons are very similar. Knicks haven't won since 73. Leafs haven't won since 67. Both owned by conglomerates. The Leafs own the Raptors and the Knicks and the Rangers, and they're building, and they have TV networks, and they don't win, but they make a ton of money type of stuff. But maybe this is the year. I mean, I thought the Leafs were going to break through. They were actually my pick, Paul, but let me ask you, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but what do you think about the Cavs and the Pacers right now? I mean, the Cavs got injury problems. The Pacers are up 2-0. We might be looking at a Pacers-Knicks conference final, bro.
Oh, baby. Okay, shades of Dale Davis and
Reggie
Rick
Miller
Smith.
and Detley old school.
Okay, listen, as you can understand,
Shrimp,
I'm rooting.
Detlef
Schrempf. I'm rooting for the Pacers right now because our path to the finals at that point becomes a lot easier than having to go through the Cleveland Cavaliers, who, as you pointed out, have major injuries. Look, you lose Mobley and Hunter, those guys combined to make 18 of 34 shots in the last 3 games of Miami and the first game of Indiana. 18 to 34 from beyond the arc. And Mobley is a great defender. They have problems without those guys. And Indiana is, you got to give them the edge. If they don't play, I got to give the Pacers the edge. And right now, it doesn't look like Indy can be stopped. So, interesting series, and I'm going to be rooting for the Pacers. I didn't think I would be because I never thought the Knicks, I wanted to believe the Knicks were going to get by Boston, and I really thought they had a shot. But now reality is setting in, and as reality sets in for me, there's other people who are in denial. Those who backed Boston said, oh, yeah, Boston's going to win, give the 2.5 games. There's no way the Knicks are going to take this to 6. But those people are in denial. Right now, the Celtics are a psyched-out basketball team. You could just see it. They just don't have it. And going into the Garden, this may benefit them a little bit because you want to be away from home right now. So maybe they could steal a win, maybe not, but hopefully the Knicks go up.
The Celtics guys were minus 750 series favorites before the series started. They're currently minus 105 right now. The Knicks are minus 115.
You don't think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Level 2 has begun. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the Pistol Players, the Hustlers, the people on the bus. I'm Paul Bovey, everybody else in between. SportsGrid Radio and TV network, and of course, Sirius XM Channel 159, and many, many video, TV networks, affiliates, platforms, and everything else in between. So a quick series odds check right now. The Pacers are up 2-0, but they're going home. They're now minus 200 on the series to beat the series price, to beat the Cavaliers. Cavaliers are plus 165. The Golden State Warriors are plus 150. The Minnesota Timberwolves are minus 180 despite losing game 1. Steph Curry is going to be out for at least a week. And the New York Knicks, as I mentioned, Paul, are minus 115 favorites right now to win the series. They were like plus 500, plus 525, which I thought was ridiculous. And here we are right now. Pretty wild.
Yeah, it is crazy. And look.
Sorry, Paul. The Dallas Stars just scored. I got people. Was that Rantanen? Yeah, Rantanen with the goal. 1-1, 11 minutes left in the second period. 1-1 hockey game. Sorry, go on, Paul.
No, I was going to say I would have taken the Knicks. And I was one of the few people. I was on a few shows. And I said the Knicks can compete. And I gave every reason in the world. Notably, Anunoby last year before the acquisition, and we went over this trade. Before the acquisition, the Knicks were a sub-500 team when they brought him over, 26-5 post Anunoby. And in the second game this year, after that 29-61 3-point barrage by the Celtics, Anunoby did not play. So I throw the game out. Third game, 13-point Celtics win. Fourth game, overtime this year. Celtics 119-117. Knicks blow 6 out of 16 free throws, and that ultimately led to their demise. So the Knicks really have competed with Boston. And last year, the only game that Anunoby played, they actually beat the Celtics. It was the only win last year for New York, and they held Jason Tatum to 4 of 13 from the field. And I always have said, Anunoby's the consummate team player. The guy will give it up on offense to put it out on defense, and that's exactly what he has done this series. That's what they need from him, although, like I said, he lit it up for 29 in the first game. Great. But we need one on the defensive end, and he's shown.
And he's always matched up well with Tatum. They have a long-standing rivalry going back to the Raptors and the Celtics days. And, you know, one thing I've told people a million times about OG, he's better in the playoffs even than he is in a regular season. Like, he steps it up like he's a big game player. He's good in the clutch, too, shooting the ball. He's made a lot of clutch shots late over the years. I'm a big OG Anunoby fan. So the Nuggets are getting lit up right now, Paul. 87-56. In-game totals 251.5. Second half just started. So Oklahoma City are up by 31. They're laying 26.5. Tomorrow night, the Warriors are getting 10.5 against the T-Wolves. Total 201. Any thoughts on this game without Steph Curry?
You know what? I would have to go to the low side again. Minnesota looked like they really struggled in the first half, particularly in scoring points. And I don't see that changing. It's not like Curry's a dynamo on defense. So they're not going to be missing him on that side of the ball. They're going to be missing him on offense. And that's certainly going to work to the advantage of the low side. And I think it's going to be a defensive struggle. I can't see Draymond Green hoisting up 10 3-pointers. I think he hit 4 out of 10. And I don't think that's going to repeat itself. So I just think points are going to be at a premium here. I would head to the low side. I'm going to take a shot tomorrow night, prop-wise, on my man Dante DiVincenzo. He was 10.5 in the first game. Unfortunately, he only made 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. I think he finished with, if I'm not mistaken, he finished with 7 points. So just one of those 3-pointers, it was either 6 or 7, would have put him over the top or near the top. But they may adjust the number downward, like they adjusted Anunoby's number up from game 1. They may adjust DiVincenzo's down. And
it's 10.5. I got a 10.5 in front of me.
Okay, so if it's 10.5, they left it alone. But I think he's going to be a volume shooter in this series. He's done well against the Warriors. I would go over the 10.5, and I'll take my chances. If the guy hoists up another 6-7 3-point shots, I'm going to take my chances. I'll go DiVincenzo over and under on the game.
Last night, Paul, I had a nice in-game prop play. Anthony Edwards was really struggling, right? What's like 3 points at the half or so. So he had 10 points late in the third quarter. He had 10 points, and the in-game prop was 17.5. And they were down by 12 or so. So I was like, all right, I'm a little worried that if it turns into a blowout, they're going to take him out. But they're not going to at home in game 1. They're going to try to come back here. And he ended up with 23, so it turned into an easy win. So there are opportunities sometimes with this, but I'm not a fan of the star props. I like where you went with Dante. The star props, Paul, they're always, they're priced so sharply, right? So Edwards is 27.5 tomorrow.
I have to tell you, I went game 2 Cleveland. I'm pretty proud of myself here. I went Donovan Mitchell over. In game, and I got it at 26.5. I went 2 days before. Westgate 27.5. I played a limit bet. They move it up on me, so I stopped. But
dropped 48, 12. Not bad.
He had gone 12. I asked my brother to put it in. If he's listening, I feel like strangling you. I told him to put it in FanDuel and Caesars and whatever else it was available in. And he forgot. He was busy. He was getting a haircut or whatever he was doing. So I would have gotten a little more. But I got it at 26.5, 27.5. Ultimately, it moved to 30.5, I believe, because of the players that sat out. He was 12 and 19 from inside the arc in game 1, 1 of 11 from beyond. So I said to myself, all of these 2-pointers are inside the paint. This should be an easy number to go down. So I did go over Donovan, and you're right. Normally, I don't gravitate to the marquee players because you're going to pay a premium for them, but you can kind of look look around and sometimes get some value on these nondescript guys, you would call them. And, DiVincenzo is certainly, I would say, under the radar for Minnesota. Anthony Edwards, you mentioned him. Before I left, Circa had a prop, highest scoring player in that series. Anthony Edwards was minus $1.50. He was favored. And the only other guy basically listed other than long shots, prohibitive long shots, was Curry at plus 140. So I grabbed Edwards at the minus 150, and right now I was a little shaky in the first half when he saw 2 points. But as you mentioned, Gabe, and you were smart enough to jump in, he did end up with 23. So even though he was, I think, a point below Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield, by the way, he came into that Game 7, 9 of 31 from beyond the arc, lights it up for 9 of 11, Warriors advance, and he had an encore performance last night, I believe, because I think he scored 24.
These veteran teams, it's youth versus veteran, right? And we got more skill and this and that, but you got guys that have been in the league for a while. Paul, we only got 30 seconds left, unfortunately. Big trade in the NFL today. Dallas Cowboys get George Pickens. I like it for the Cowboys' perspective. Yeah, George Pickens for a third-round pick. Cowboys win total, Paul, 7.5. Never too early to start looking at NFL win totals.
No, Giants 5.5, Cowboys 7.5. Maybe Philly is ripe for a fall here. Who knows? I mean, Super Bowl hangover.
Like Paul brings up the Giants, 5.5.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Two guys that can do it all.
Too much electricity this morning.
This is a good time. We're having a lot of fun.
I had to do a triple take. Ka-ching! Why? Because of parity.
I didn't mean to offend.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Load management is a dirty word.
Let him rip.
You know what? Circumstances provide the results. What? How do you do this once? Oh, Donnie, you got such a good show there.
A network that is booming.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
All right, there's a saying, you can't win them all. And we're not even talking about bets right now, but most of these playoff games have been awesome. And this hockey game really is. The basketball game is not. So we got a blowout going on right now, 97-61. The Oklahoma City Thunder generally do not take the pedal off the metal either. So this is a good thing, considering we do have the over of the game. We're going to lose the Denver pick. I knew I was walking into a trap, but we took Denver in game one, so we figured, all right, maybe they can pull off this again. But give credit to Oklahoma City. But if I get the split and we hit the over, that's fine. Let's bring in one of the best handles on X right now. Spread Astaire steps up and in. Thanks for joining us, Spread Astaire. Wild night in Boston once again. The New York Knicks become the first team in 25 years in the NBA to be down 20 points or more in back-to-back games and win both those games, Spread. Pretty wild stuff, man, that the Knicks are up 2-0 right now. And teams that are up 2-0 in the playoffs in the NBA in a 7-game series, teams that win the first 2 games on the road go on to win the series 86% of the time. What do you think? Do you think the Knicks can hang on and actually eliminate the Celtics? Or do the Celtics come back and win the series?
If there's a team that can come back, it has to be the Boston Celtics with what we're looking at. But if you're in the Knicks, you have to be excited. And some of the things that we saw during the regular season simply aren't happening. Finally, those 5 first-round picks given up for Mikal Bridges came home to roost, because I was thinking, boy, this is going to be a terrible trade. He's not the same defender he was in Phoenix. And here he is tonight, 14 points in the fourth quarter, the huge block to seal the game. At this point, the Knicks are ready to send out a couple more picks for the way that Bridges are doing it. So I'd say, of all the teams that are in trouble here in the first round, and the Thunder are reminding us right now that they're not in trouble, I would say that Boston still has the best chance to win. I think I'd give them a much comeback than I would give Cleveland.
And right now we should note the Dallas Stars have just scored again. It is 2-1 for the Dallas Stars right now over the Winnipeg Jets. Man, the Jets are a lot like the Leafs. They don't do anything easy, as we saw the other night. It was a deflected shot, not Hellebuck's fault. Who was it? It was shot by Harley from the point. I don't know who's going to get credit for it. I think it might have hit Miller on the. Is it Rantanen getting credit for this? It looked like it hit Miller of the Blues, but I don't know. Let's see. Let's see who they're going to give it credit here to. So either way, it's 2-1 with 5 minutes left in this hockey game. So Stars up 2-1 right now. 5 minutes left. New updated number. Here are the Jets. We've seen this a lot where the other team. Wow, it's Rantanen again. He gets credit for it. Yeah. Wow, his second of the game and 7th of the playoffs, man. Rantanen's just lighting it up for the Dallas Stars. In-game totals currently 5.5. Winnipeg Jets are plus 220 right now. So, as you were saying, Spread, yeah, Oklahoma City responds here. Denver are not going to be an easy out, but Oklahoma City are, they're a young, youthful team, and they're a confident team. So, I'm not really expecting an upset here. I think Denver will win another game, maybe 2 more, but I expect Oklahoma City to advance. But as far as the Cleveland Cavaliers are concerned, they're down 2-0. And, like the Boston Celtics, they're going on the road right now. And the Cavs have a lot of injury problems. Like, things are really getting turned upside down in the Eastern Conference right now.
Yeah, and it's really too bad for the Cleveland Cavaliers and their fans that this isn't the team was built wrong. This isn't a team being exposed that maybe got lucky during the regular season. This is simply bad luck with the injuries, and we've seen this more and more in the NBA. Feels like the NFL, a war of attrition, and Cleveland is losing that war right now. And without Evan Mobley out there on the floor, that defense doesn't look as good as it did. They're going to go back to Indiana. It's going to be wild. I was surprised. Cleveland laying 2 here the last time I checked for their next game in Indiana. Boy, I don't know. I think I might keep riding that streak and take Indiana plus money at home.
Man, not a lot of respect for the Pacers, huh? And I'm seeing 2.5 right now even. It's even gone up. And listen, I thought the Pacers were disrespected coming into the playoffs a bit. I do like them. They've got a mental toughness about them. They have playoff experience. They've got guys that have been in the league for a while. They've got dudes that have won before. They got a coach that's won. Pascal Siakam's won before. Matherin's a confident young player. Halliburton's not a superstar, but a star type of player. I've always liked Miles Turner. They're a fun team, the Cavaliers, and they got playoff experience. And the Pacers, they got playoff experience. I'm with you. I'm surprised. I figured the Pacers should be 2.5-point favorites at this point. And not to mention, spread, we saw during the regular season, bro, and over the past years, the Pacers have beaten the Cavaliers. They're not, intimidated by them. They've played and beaten them before.
The Pacers are set up to beat Cleveland. The way that they play, the way that they move so fast, get those 3-point shots up, what's a good way to mitigate rim protection? Shoot from behind the arc. You can be the best shot blocker in the league sitting down there in the paint, but if I can get these shots up from behind the arc, that's really tough to handle here. And when you look at the Cleveland defense, the weakness of the point of attack with the guards. Both Garland and Mitchell are susceptible to getting beat off the dribble a lot of the times. Pacers know when to pull up. They know when to attack the rim. I'm really surprised. I mean, this team was in the Eastern Conference Finals last year, and I know that they kind of got lucky, and people can say they're getting lucky again. But guess what? They're taking advantage of these opportunities, right? Luck was when preparation meets opportunity, and so I think that I'm really surprised, and I'm going to go ahead and take the Pacers on the money line in this next game.
You look at the total, too, at 229.5. It benefits the Pacers to push the pace, as you talked about. No one's going to dispute that. We'll see about Cleveland's injury situation, but Cleveland are hurt defensively more than offensively with the losses. I like Garland, but losing Hunter and Mobley, especially Mobley, for the defensive presence that they have, the whole fact of what makes them good is Allen and Mobley, not just one of them, right? So you're right, bad timing there, but Pacers plus the points and that total, guys, the Pacers aren't going to slow it down. They're going to want to run Cleveland into the ground here. So total's 229.5. We'll get Spread Astaire's thoughts on the NBA point spreads and these games coming up. The Celtics open up as 4.5-point favorites in Game 3, and I'm seeing a 5 right now. The Dallas Stars are all over Connor Hellebuck of the Jets. Hellebuck just made a couple of big saves.
Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. The Dallas Stars just scored again. They're up 3-1. Rantanen scored again. And I'm not going to say he's lucky. The guy's amazing. But his last goal, they fired at the net. It hit a bunch of people, and I guess it hit him in front of the net. Now, he just sort of fired it at the net, and it bounced off a skate. It looked like and there's the Winnipeg Jets score. This is happening so much in the NHL where the other team just comes back and scores right away. Scheifele with the goal. Dear God, like what dude, you can't bet it under here. You can't bet it under in this stuff, spread is there. Like, these hockey games, bro, they'll be 0-0 with a minute left, and then it'll be an overtime 4-4 somehow. Like, so this game is just blowing up right now. 3-2. Wow, the Jets are back in it, though. We got a fun one. All right, spread, we got a couple more minutes with you here. So, Golden State Warriors now without Steph Curry. They're getting 10.5 in Game 2 tomorrow. The total is 201. Any opinion on this game?
I'm so surprised that all these underdog lines have been high so far. Maybe that's a little bit of recency bias as the underdogs have performed so well. But I did not rate Minnesota as 3 points better than Golden State going into Game 1. I thought that line should have been 3.5 or 4. So I was really excited when we were getting 6.5, 7, depending on the time that you timed it. Now it's out to 10.5, and I think it should be at around 6.5. So I still like Golden State. But here's the one caveat to this handicap. I need a pretty healthy Jimmy Butler here. We've seen Jimmy do this before. The Miami Heat teams that he took to the finals, they weren't renowned with talent, but they did have some of the similar things that Golden State has. And that's guys that dig in on the defensive end, who understand their roles, and who will knock down the open three when they get the opportunity. So I think Golden State's got a shot to keep this one close. I know that, Denver's right now didn't bounce back after their big Game 1 win, but I think Golden State will keep this close. The only other concern I have here, too, is Steve Kerr. Hey, he'll wave that white flag early if things get out of hand. So that's kind of one of the tough things, backing Golden State as a dog in this playoff series, but I still think that's the better side in this game.
All good points. Spread a stare kicking it with us. So the Celtics, we talked about the Cavaliers being favorites over again. Okay, they have injuries and it is the Pacers, but a lot of confidence in the Celtics. I guess as defending champions, people just sort of expect them to win basketball games. 25 of 100 from three. So, we knew about the Game 1 disaster. They didn't take 60 this time, but they took 40 tonight, and they only hit 10 of them this evening. The Knicks are locked in right now on defense with these guys, talking about Bridges and OG. Brunson gets all the love, but, everybody else is just killing it right now. What do you think about the Celtics laying 5 on Saturday at MSG?
This is just wild to me. What would you see in the first 2 games that we watched? I mean, everyone just getting that the Celtics are going to flip this switch and all of a sudden the threes go in. And I understand that. They are a good 3-point shooting team. But just the assumption that it's going to happen based on what we saw, that one is tough for me to swallow. I mean, MSG is going to be rocking. Maybe that works against them. Maybe they're so nervous. Maybe the bit starts to turn on them when they go down by 20, whereas in Boston they were nice and relaxed down by 20. But you have to wonder, how much does that help the Knicks' confidence, the fact that they're able to overcome that? I mean, a 7 or 10-point deficit, that's going to be nothing to these guys now. Once again, I like taking the points here, and I know this is a theme, but Gabe, there's one thing that we know about sports gambling. We can't just do the same thing every time. So we have to react to how the market is right now. More than ever, I think a lot of casual bettors have given up on betting up the NBA regular season. But they're tuning into these games. We see the ratings triple, and they're going to have some money on it too. And I'm wondering if that's why we're getting some value on these underdogs here. I've talked to a lot of casual gamblers that have sworn off the regular season, but they're loving betting on these playoffs right now. So maybe as people who like to back underdogs, we're getting a little bit of value.
That's a good point. And I think, as well, as crazy as it sounds, that I wouldn't be shocked if there's 5.5s to pop up with Boston. I think people are going to get locked in and, there's no way Boston. A good example tonight, and there are analogies with hockey and basketball just because they play the same type of schedule, et cetera, during the season and in a regular season. But tonight, like the Toronto Maple Leafs won Game 1, people just were, convinced, there's no way the Panthers go down 0-2. They were minus 150 road favorites tonight. They lost again. right? The Leafs were plus 125, and they won again on home ice. Spread, Astaire, where can people find you online? We got about 15, 20 seconds here. Where can people find me online?
At Spread Astaire over on Twitter and X. Thanks for having me on, Gabe, and hopefully I'll be able to jump on again with you soon.
Yeah, good job. We'll definitely do it again. The rage continues.
Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers could be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, great job by Spread Astaire. Good basketball analysis there. Strong takes. All right, we'll definitely have him back on the show. We got a 3-2 hockey game after 40 minutes of play, and this Jets team, very resilient. You know, they were down 3-1. They bounced right back. Scheifele scores the goal after Rantanen scores, but Rantanen with back-to-back hat tricks. All right, this has only happened 3 times in NHL history. Super impressive feat. The first time it happened, 1944, Doug Bentley. Everybody knew that. That one was easy. And I'm kidding when I say that. Right? So I don't expect anyone to know that. So Doug Bentley in 1944, Mikko Rantanen 2025. It also happened in 1985. And there's a correlation here. So I'm going to give people there's like really strong hockey trivia people would be like bang it off right now. What do Mikko Rantanen and 1985? So who would do it in 1985, and what would Mikko Rantanen have in common with him? Jari Kurri, Finland. So pretty wild. You've only had 3 players in NHL history to have back-to-back hat tricks in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and 2 of them are Finnish. Jari Kurri, 1985. Edmonton Oilers sniper, played with Gretzky and company. Hell of a player. You know, very good. He's kind of an underrated. People don't really talk about Jari Kurri much for whatever reason. Like when they talk about the Oilers, you hear about Gretzky, you hear about Messier. Grant Fuhr's name get tossed around a lot, and with all due respect, Grant Fuhr was, he was okay. Good. I'm not saying just okay, but you know what I mean. But Yeri Curry was like, man, this guy scored a lot of freaking goals. I want to look up how many goals he scored in his career. But Yeri Curry's a stud. Not the friendliest guy in the world. I've met him before. My uncle played with him, which he was cool when I was a kid and stuff, but I met him again after and stuff. But a lot of, Finnish dudes are kind of uptight to begin with, to be honest with you. Mikko Rantanen, his 12 points ties the Stars franchise record for the most over a 4-game span. Think this guy's helping the Dallas Stars? Let's bring in Ian Cameron right now. Babano in the house. What's going on, Babano? How you doing?
Well, it's incredible stuff. I mean, he's got now 14 points in his last 5
Yeah, now
playoff
up to 14 with the two more. Yeah, exactly.
14 actually in his last 4 playoff games. Natural hat trick. He's got 6 goals right now in his last, 3 periods of hockey. If you go back to third period of Game 7 against Colorado, he's got 6 goals, this guy. In three periods of hockey, Game 7.
He's hot
Colorado.
right now, Babano, because both these goals were lucky too. One of them he just threw at the net; it hit somebody in front of the net, or someone threw it to the net and it hit him. The last one he threw at the net and it hit the skates, and he's hot as hell right now. Everything he touches turns to gold. But with that being stated, Scheifele responded with a big goal right after it.
It was a huge goal. There's no question. It gets the Jets within 1. There's still a whole third period. My concern, though, with the Jets right now is how these blue liners hold up. These are guys that are playing more minutes because Josh Morrissey's not playing after leaving the game early in Game 7 against St. Louis, the game that went to double overtime. That game saw Neil Pionk play 46 minutes, Dylan Sandberg 42 minutes, and Dylan DeMello 36 minutes. A lot of ice time in Game 7, and you wonder now here, Gabe, in the third period, how much gas is left in the tank of some of these Jets defensemen who are picking up the slack for no Josh Morrissey once again tonight.
Very valid point. I can't dispute it. It crossed my mind earlier tonight coming into this game about how they were going to respond after that. I kind of wanted to believe, Babano, that, you know what, quite a long layoff from Sunday until Wednesday, right? So they had time to rehydrate and they had time to recover, but easier said than done, right? The Dallas Stars are a fast team. You're out here. It's gone back and forth, right? Winnipeg looked like the better team in the first period, Babano. Dallas looked like the better team in the second period, but that was a massive goal. And we have seen the Jets are resilient and have found a way to get back in these games. Who did you take coming into this game? Because I'm on the Jets, so I'm sort of looking at this from a Jet perspective. But who are you on in this game? Because I'm on the Jets. You got the Stars?
I have the Stars team total. I didn't take the money line. I didn't know if they would win the game, but I had to take the team total. It was 2.5. The Jets gave up 3 goals or more to the Blues in 6 of the 7 games in that series. Even though they won in 7, they gave up 3 goals or more in 6 of the games. And all you needed was 3 from Dallas tonight. I thought they could get it, and they already have. And I have the over, 5.5. Game ones I find are a little bit higher scoring. I figured with the minutes logged by the Jets, especially in Game 7, their defense could be a little vulnerable tonight. And look, it didn't look good early. It was scoreless after the first period. And there's that second period over, Gabe. I know I've been on a Wednesday night before with you and Cam talking about how scoreless first periods hit that second period over. It's been absolutely remarkable how often it's cashed. It happened again in this game.
What's the number, Babana? Do you know the exact over-under percentage coming into tonight for the playoffs?
7-3. 70%.
Of all playoff games in the NHL.
For the scoreless for the scoreless first period.
Okay, not the scores first. So you're saying 7-3 with the scoreless first periods in the second period. Okay, now that's good to know too. But I'm just talking about overall. Like, dude, none of these games are going under in the NHL playoffs. Like, how many games have gone under? Like a serious, low amount. And so, I'm trying to see. I want to get the exact number, though, as far as for the playoff stats here. But it's not. I mean, Babano, it's been all right. Here we go. The playoffs have been going on for it's been over the last 7 days.
It's been on a serious overheater the last week. I know that.
It's 8-3 coming into tonight. So now the first game went over 9-3. This game's going to go over. So, Babano, after this game, it'll be 10-3 in the last 13 NHL games to the over. Which games have gone under, bro? None of them. Off the top of my head, who's played a low-scoring normal game?
That's true.
Like,
Well,
seriously.
Vegas barely stayed under because that total was 6.5 last night. It ended at 6, but that's been the exception, not the rule.
Yeah. You know what, though? There were some sixes, Babano, out there. Depending on the book. I saw some sixes, so you could call it a push.
You should have pushed. Yeah, you should have pushed. That would drive Teddy Covers nuts back in the day. You should have got a better number. You should have pushed, not
Teddy.
blocked. Yeah.
Teddy always blames the bettor. Oh, I lost by half a point. It's your fault for not betting it earlier. Why'd you bet that?
That always gets under his skin. Yeah.
And he gets under people's skin by saying it. He's gotten under mine by saying it.
We get it.
I love Teddy, but once he got me once. Like when I got really mad for real once. Like it was live on the air, and I think it was during when the Raptors, when they were going to the finals and all that.
No,
the Raptors lost a game once, and I was live with Teddy, and I was like, son of a bitch. I was really mad. I was really upset from a fan perspective. I was mad from a betting perspective. And I think I lost by half a point or something. And Teddy said that to me. Why'd you bet that? Well, you should have bet that earlier. And I was like, just shut up. I was like, oh, yeah, you're never wrong.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, you're never wrong, huh? I was like, I went off. I was like, just shut up. I said, I was mad. But yeah, good times.
Not the
we
right
love Teddy.
time to needle you about something like that when you watch your team lose a tough game in a championship series. Yeah.
No, especially it's the playoffs is different, and I'm a fan. He didn't get that part. Yeah. He did it to Brian Blessing though. It was a classic moment. Ray Blessing, rest in peace. We were in Vegas. We were doing a show, and Brian Blessing bet the over of a Virginia Cavalier game in the NCAA tournament, and it was really low. It was like 118.5 or something stupidly low, and it wasn't going over at all. And Teddy Covers started doing that to Blessing. Why would you bet that? What are you, an idiot? And Blessing had a few drinks and also really got mad. Shut the F up. And he got up and then it went over the number. The game went over somehow. And Blessing was sticking a ticket in his face.
Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I'm Morency. Spent a lot of time. We've talked about it during the week, but I'll bring it up again just because there was a post today. There's a video of Sidney Crosby teaching Macklin Celebrini little face-off tricks. And there's like, what a beautiful sight to see these two together and stuff. And so they're on the ice, and you can tell Crosby showing them, like smack the stick this way out of the guy's hand and stuff. And, it's amazing that Connor Bedard declined the invite. I'm still blown away by it, right? And the thing is, like, Celebrini has taken the league more by storm. Like, he plays a more complete game than Bedard. He's more enthusiastic, etc. And he showed up for Team Canada now, and he got 3 assists and a goal in their final tune-up game before they start playing for real. And I brought it up. I said, if you're Bedard, you got to be there to get a relationship with Crosby, McKinnon, and the veterans of the team, so they put in a good word for you, right? Like, so when John Cooper calls Crosby, like, after or whatever, you know what I mean, and says, so what was it like in, Sweden with the team? And he'd go, I tell you what, man, Fantilli's really good. We trust him on defense, and, we should take a look, he should be, you should take a look at him for the Olympic team. You know what I mean, Beto? Bedard's out of the equation now, and Celebrini's only getting better, like, every day. And we see it right now, and he's there taking it in with Team Canada. There's going to be 5 more spots than there was on the Four Nations team, and Bedard's not going to be on the team. Let's just call it out for what it is right now. He will not be on the team. I don't know if he thought I won't be on the team anyway, so I'm not going to go. I don't know what his deal is, why he didn't go. He said he's going to work on his strength and conditioning, and he's got a bunch of speed drills coming up and blah, blah, blah. And so he's not going surfing for the summer here, but I thought it was a big mistake. And for the record, I posted the pick earlier in the day. I bet on Canada, but I missed the good number because Canada was like plus 280 like last week. Like earlier, like 5 days ago, they were like plus 300.
Yep. I jumped on it.
And then after, as it kept going with the announcements of McKinnon and Crosby and everybody, it's plus 130 right now. Right, so there was a massive drop before and after the Crosby and McKinnon announcement.
Yeah, Gabe, rightfully so, the price has dropped, to plus 130. Crosby's in. Nathan McKinnon going is massive, and it tells you just how amped up he is to finish his season winning, even despite the tough loss to Colorado. Marc-Andre Fleury, that's another thing about the Fleury addition to the team. You don't think that Team Canada is going to want to get one last championship trophy for Marc-Andre Fleury and his awesome career? I mean, that's just added an emotional type of bent here for Canada that they can thrive on and basically feed off here in this World Hockey Championship. Then you factor in that on paper, they've by far got the best roster that they're sending of any country to this tournament. So I thought you could get anything, even now it's moved quite a bit, but I'd still bet them. But certainly getting the number you got, the price I got in that 250 to 300 range was outstanding value given the kind of quality team they're going to have.
One thing with Fleury, he's going to play, but I don't think he'll be like the number one guy. That'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
He'll probably be the backup, but he'll get starts in the preliminary round, and then he'll back up.
Well, they have a lot of games where they're like
round.
4-goal favorites and stuff, right?
Right.
The thing is, though, their other goalie is the Hartford Wolfpack goalie. So it's not like, they got Dylan, people are wondering, Dylan Garland. Who's Dylan Garland? It's the one position that Canada is not deep in, is the goaltending position. They don't have like, there's a few, and they're kind of in the playoffs. Montembeault played in the Four Nations. He didn't play, but he was on the Four Nations team. I'm surprised he's not there. He's probably tired. And also he got hurt, actually. Montembeault got hurt in that series against the Capitals. You got Logan Thompson still playing. Aiden Hill still playing. Jordan Binnington just eliminated, but Binnington has nothing to prove. He's not going to go play in this thing right now. But so, yeah, goaltending. Like I said, they got Dylan Garland, Marc-Andre Fleury. So maybe I take it back. Maybe Fleury actually will be the guy. But they're so deep. And, like, the only real threat Babano is Sweden because it's in Sweden. And Sweden they're good, Sweden. So, you know what I mean? But Canada's going to be massive favorites in every game. So even at plus 130, guys, it's a good bet. So the third period has started right now in this game. Winnipeg had a quick scoring opportunity. Should be a fun third period. 3-2, 17 and a half minutes left in this game. The Leafs are now up 2-0, Babano. People laughed at me when I told them the Leafs are going to the Stanley Cup, but I stand by it. The Leafs are going to the Stanley Cup. All they got to do now is take one of the 2 games in Florida, get up 3-1, and then hang on for dear life over the next 3 games again, like they did against Ottawa.
Well, I'll tell you what, if they do end up and that's a long way to go. Hell, they still got to get past Florida, and win 2 more games in this series. But I'll tell you what, everything that I have seen, that a lot of people have seen over the years from the Leafs, it's totally different this year. The Leafs are showing pushback. The Leafs are defending when they have a lead late in the game. They're getting the clutch saves. They're getting the block shots. They're getting the defensive prowess. And most importantly of all, they are not wilting when something bad happens in a game anymore. Okay? When they give up a goal, it's not panic. It's not we fall apart. It's no, we're going to get it back, keep playing, next shift. And how many times, and it happened again tonight, Florida would score, Toronto would answer right away. It happened a lot in the Ottawa series too. That never happened to the Leafs before in past playoff seasons. They're playing with that, just keep playing, believe in the way we're playing, play our game, be on our toes, and if something bad happens, don't sulk about it. You just go and you keep playing, and they've been able to respond so often in these playoffs, Morency, when they get scored on. And I think that is one of the massive differences we're seeing in this year's Leafs playoff team compared to previous years.
No, they have shown a resiliency. I mean, hell, a couple of years ago, they started arguing with each other on the bench, right? Like, so, right?
Oh, yeah, the body
they were
language
like, what
was
the hell?
horrible. Awful.
Yeah, no, like literally, like Marner was yelling at Matthews, and Matthews was telling them to F off, and like, right, they would fall apart. They are much mentally tougher now, and I thought that they would be. And listen, there's a lot of talk about the Leafs and their history all the time, and bad history of closing things out and all this and other stuff. But for the record, the Toronto Maple Leafs are in a great spot right now.
Think that there's something to the fact that they blow all these leads against the Edmonton Oilers? It's like the Oilers can be down 4 goals and they come back like it's nothing.
We got a series now. I think this thing is going to reset, Scott. I think home ice advantage is going to hold true in this series. I think I told you that last week. I'm expecting this. I picked the Kings in 7 before the series started, and it's like plus 700.
Pharrell Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star 3 trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
The Dallas Stars on the power play right now. Winnipeg can't do this. Winnipeg's down. Even if you kill a penalty, there it's 2 minutes off the clock for you. So there's 15 and a half left in the game. We got a 3-2 game. All right, let's get to we'll get to the hockey brawl. This is a good one. This is in Russia, and a goalie gets run at in basically a rec league here, and it turns into like a real brouhaha. Like not a couple of people went after the dude that went after the goalie, but everybody went after the dude that went after the goalie, and it turned into a fun old-fashioned Russian melee. Let's roll it. There it goes down the goalie. Now look at this. You can tell where it is by the girl screaming. It's in Russia. This is what Russian hockey's become now that they're banned from everywhere. Like this is it. But this is not the KHL or anything like that. But it's great. Like if you can enlarge the video, I reposted it on my Twitter account on X. The ref nearly gets like really lit up, getting caught in the middle of it and stuff too. You know, people don't think of Russian and like fighting and stuff like that, but Russians are pretty crazy. So I'm not surprised that it turned into this this melee. But that's what makes hockey so much fun. Man, the goalie got lit up. The goalie got lit up as well. All right, we'll get to the Argo one next week.
Probably thinking we should have done that to Bennett in Game 1.
Nah, you know what? Their best revenge is winning.
That's
it
true.
Really is. That's the best revenge the Leafs can get. The Leafs, you're not going to outfight the Panthers. You're not going to out-tough them and stuff like that. And don't get baited into it. It's not your game. The Panthers want to do it. You got the Panthers on the ropes right now. So the Toronto Maple Leafs guys, they're 11-0 all time in playoff series when they start off 2-0 at home. And I saw the stat at first, and I'm like, that's not true, because they blew the lead to the Montreal Canadiens. Right? They blew the big series lead to the Canadiens when the Canadiens went to the Cup, but it wasn't at home. So you can always get caught with these little, the modern sport facts. Like, oh yeah, it was in the bubble or the hub, whatever the hell you want to call it. So it wasn't technically home games at the time. So we got a 133-90 basketball game. It's an absolute bloodbath. The Oklahoma City Thunder are up by 43 points right now. The in-game total is 253.5. Game is sailing over the number, and the point spread in game is 39.5 if you want to play some Russian roulette. What's this penalty now? I think Dallas are getting called now. This can't be Winnipeg again, is it?
Yep. No, it's Dallas. It's Dallas. Yep. 4-on-4, and then it'll be a Jets power play. Yep.
So 19 seconds. Yeah, you got to slash. That's where you got to bust out the fake blood pack wrestling style there. Like little, oh, look, I'm bleeding. And you get the extra minutes. But, yeah, you got Peon gets slashed here. So, yeah, 19 seconds. Tyler Seguin with the penalty. So it's going to be 19 seconds, even 4-on-4, as Babano mentioned. And then the Winnipeg Jets will have the power play for the remainder of the penalty. All right, Babano. So tomorrow, the Edmonton Oilers and the Vegas Golden Knights. Listen, I think Edmonton are unstoppable right now. They're underdogs again in this spot. I'm going back to the oil well with the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow. But you're going to play Vegas to score in the first period.
Yes, it doesn't mean I'm going to take Vegas, though, to win the game. I'm kind of with you. I like what I'm seeing out of Edmonton. I just think Vegas will have a strong start, which they did actually have in Game 1. They got out to that 2-0 quick early lead. But the Oilers, I give them credit. They are now, 3-0 in their last 3 games? Actually, no. Going back, they were down 2-0. Yeah,
they're 5-0
exactly.
now. They've won 5 straight. And Babano, they've been trailing in all 5 games. All 5 games they've been trailing in.
They don't give up. And without Matthias Ekholm, I want to throw out Paul Coffey's name. This guy's done a hell of a job with this D, with the injuries, with the fact that everybody's been questioning them, and yet they've gotten better and better and better as these playoffs have gone on. I believe Paul Coffey being an assistant is instrumental in what they've gotten out of that Oilers blue line in these playoffs without their best guy, Ekholm.
Ian Cameron with Battle Bets. Check them out on the ice, guys. They're breaking it down, talking NHL playoffs. So as I stated, I'm not going to get in front of this Edmonton Oilers team. Other than that, you're on your own. Later.